My beloved child, listen carefully, because this moment is not random, and this message did not reach you by accident. Today, on January 26th, heaven itself has marked your name. Archangel Michael is stepping forward with urgency, authority, and deep compassion to say this: something beautiful is about to happen in the next few hours. It is already in motion. The gears have turned. The door has cracked open. But hear this warning clearly. If you ignore this message, you will miss it, and your heart will later ache for what could have been yours. This is not meant to scare you. This is meant to awaken you. There are moments in life when time becomes sacred. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now. This is one of those moments. Archangel Michael says the spiritual atmosphere around you has shifted suddenly. What you have been waiting for quietly, sometimes with faith, sometimes with exhaustion, is closer than it appears. But it requires awareness. It requires your attention. It requires you to stay present instead of distracted. You have been through delays before. You have heard promises before. And part of you has learned to protect itself by expecting nothing. But Michael says this hour is different. This is not a long-term prophecy. This is not a distant vision. This is a narrow window, and it is opening fast. Right now, unseen forces are aligning on your behalf. Conversations are being stirred. Decisions are being influenced. Paths are crossing that would not normally cross. What looks ordinary on the surface will carry extraordinary weight. A message, an opportunity, a realization, or a sudden shift, small in appearance, massive in impact, is preparing to manifest. But here is why this message is urgent. Archangel Michael warns that distraction is the enemy of this moment. Doubt, or evading, saying I'll deal with it later, scrolling past, brushing this off as coincidence. These are the exact reasons people miss divine timing. Not because heaven didn't move, but because the heart wasn't open when it did. You have cried before over missed chances, over moments where you later said, if only I had acted, or if only I had listened to that inner nudge. Michael says this message is mercy arriving early so that regret does not arrive later. Something beautiful is coming, but it will require a response. Not force, not struggle, awareness. You may feel a subtle pull right now, a stillness, a seriousness, a sense that this is important. That is not fear. That is recognition. Your spirit knows when truth is speaking. Archangel Michael is standing guard over this moment, urging you to slow down and pay attention. Within the next few hours, there will be a sign. It may not come wrapped in fireworks. It may come quietly, through a person, through a thought you can shake, through a sudden chance that seems almost too simple. Do not underestimate it. Heaven often hides miracles inside ordinary moments to see who is watching. Michael says, do not talk yourself out of it. The mind will try to explain it away. The past will whisper, this never works out. Fear will say, what if you're wrong? But faith says, what if this is it? And today, faith must speak louder. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. This message itself is proof that you are still being guided. January 26th carries a spiritual weight for you. It marks the end of a silent waiting season and the beginning of visible movement. What happens next will not only bless you, it will confirm to you that you were never walking alone. But remember this clearly: ignoring this message is a choice, and choices shape outcomes. Archangel Michael does not come with empty words. When he warns, it is because the moment matters. When he urges, it is because protection and opportunity are intertwined. He is asking you to stay open today. Stay gentle. Stay alert. Stay faithful. Do not rush. Do not panic. Just be present. Something beautiful is approaching you now, closer than you think, and your awareness is the key that unlocks it. Beloved soul, pause for a moment and let this sink in, because what Archangel Michael is revealing now goes deeper than excitement. It touches responsibility. When heaven prepares beauty, it also prepares a test of discernment. Today is not just about receiving something good. It is about recognizing it when it arrives. Michael says many people pray for blessings, but very few are trained to notice them in real time. Right now, your spirit is being tuned. You may feel unusually alert, emotional, or reflective without knowing why. That is not random. Archangel Michael says your inner senses are being sharpened because what is coming requires clarity, not confusion. If you are rushed, overwhelmed, or mentally scattered, you could look directly at a divine opening and mistake it for something ordinary. This is why this message matters so much today. Within the next few hours, something will invite you to respond. It might not announce itself loudly. It could come as a gentle nudge to speak, to move, to check something, or to say yes where you usually hesitate. Michael says this moment will test whether you still trust your intuition or whether you've learned to silence it because of past disappointments. Understand this clearly. The beauty coming toward you is aligned with what you once asked for, but not necessarily in the form you imagined. Many miss miracles because they expect them to look dramatic. Heaven often works through subtlety because subtlety requires faith. Archangel Michael is reminding you of something important. When you prayed before, you asked not only for change, but for peace, alignment, and relief. What is approaching you now carries those answers within it. But if you judge too quickly, if you compare it to old expectations, you may turn away from the very thing sent to help you. Be mindful of conversations today. Pay attention to timing. Notice interruptions that feel inconvenient. Michael says even delays today have purpose. What feels like a pause may actually be protection, redirecting you so you don't miss what truly matters. There is also a warning here, spoken with love. Do not let outside voices drown out your inner knowing. Everyone has an opinion, but not everyone has your assignment. Archangel Michael says this blessing is tailored specifically to you. Others may not understand it. That does not make it wrong. You may be tempted to wait for permission, validation, or a perfect sign. But sometimes the sign is the quiet certainty that rises within you. That calm confidence that says this feels right. That is where Michael is guiding you to look. And now listen carefully, because this matters. If this message is resonating with you even a little, it means your spirit is awake. And when your spirit is awake, you are more capable of receiving than you realize. This is why I ask you, take a moment right now to support this message by liking this video, sharing it with someone who needs encouragement today, and subscribing to this channel. When you do that, you are not just helping content grow, you are helping truth reach those who are quietly waiting for a sign. Leave a comment as well, even if it's just a word of agreement. Your engagement is an act of alignment. Archangel Michael says agreement multiplies impact. As this day unfolds, choose stillness over noise. Choose awareness over autopilot. Even joy can be missed if the heart is distracted. The enemy of beauty is not opposition, it is inattention. Some of you will feel an urge to dismiss this because you've been disappointed before. Michael understands that. He says your caution came from pain, not from lack of faith. But today, he is asking you to open your hands again, not wide enough to be careless, but open enough to receive. The next few hours hold significance because timing is converging. What has been delayed is now synchronized. What was fragmented is now aligning. This is not coincidence. This is orchestration. If you sense that something is shifting, trust that feeling. Do not overanalyze it. Do not rush to explain it away. Let it unfold. Archangel Michael is standing with you today, sword lowered, wings steady, watching over this moment to ensure that fear does not steal what faith has prepared. You are safe to hope again. You are allowed to expect good. And before you move on with your day, let me say this. Keep watching, because what comes next will bring clarity to why this specific timing matters so much for you. Chosen one, hear this with an open heart, because Archangel Michael is now revealing why this moment carries such emotional weight for you. The reason this message feels intense is because it touches a wound you rarely speak about, the pain of almost receiving, almost celebrating, almost stepping into something new, only to watch it slip away at the last moment. Michael says heaven has seen every tear connected to those moments, and today is a response to them. This is not about repeating the past. This is about redeeming it. Archangel Michael says that what is approaching you in these hours is not random beauty. It is restoration. Something beautiful is about to happen because something painful once happened. Heaven does not waste suffering. Every delay you endured trained your discernment. Every disappointment refined your heart. And now, that refinement is required because the blessing coming toward you needs maturity to hold it. There is a reason this message warns you not to ignore it. Ignoring is not just about skipping a video or dismissing a thought. Ignoring is when the heart closes itself to possibility because it is tired of hoping. Michael says the real risk today is emotional withdrawal, not external interference. Some of you learned to survive by lowering expectations. You told yourself, if I don't hope, I won't hurt. But Archangel Michael says protection through numbness also blocks joy. Today, you are being invited to feel again, not recklessly, but faithfully. In the next few hours, something will touch the exact area where you once felt loss. That is how you will recognize it. It will feel familiar but not heavy. It will remind you of the past, but it will not carry the same weight. This is how restoration works. It revisits the old place with new grace. Michael wants you to understand this clearly. Missing this moment would not mean you failed. It would simply mean you stayed in defense mode when it was time to receive. That is why this message is firm, not threatening but orient. Pay attention to emotional reactions today. If something stirs hope and fear at the same time, pause. Attention often signals divine movement. Fear alone pushes away. Hope alone pulls forward. When they appear together, it means something meaningful is happening. There is also forgiveness tied to this moment. Not necessarily forgiving others, but forgiving yourself. Forgiving yourself for the choices you regret. For the times you didn't act. For the moments you doubted your worth. Archangel Michael says the beauty coming toward you will make sense only if you stop punishing yourself for who you were when you did know better. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not being tested because you failed. You are being trusted because you grew. This is why Michael says, stay soft today. Stay kind to yourself. Do not rush the moment. Do not pressure yourself to respond perfectly. Just respond honestly. Even now, some of you feel emotion rising without a clear reason. That is confirmation. Your spirit recognizes alignment before your mind understands it. Archangel Michael is also reminding you that gratitude accelerates manifestation. Quietly acknowledge what is coming, even before it fully appears. Not out loud if you don't want to, but within your heart. That inner agreement matters. And now, before this moment unfolds any further, there is a ritual of acknowledgement that seals this awareness. Type "I receive the beauty prepared for me" in the comments if this message is speaking to your spirit. Blessing code 909 has just been released. Now listen closely, because this is important and flows directly from what you just received. This message, this timing, this confirmation, it does not exist only for you. There are others who are desperate for hope, standing at the edge of giving up, needing the same reminder that heaven has not forgotten them. And this is where you become part of the mission. I feel led to say this clearly. When you support this work through super thanks, channel membership, or even a simple PayPal offering found in the video description, you are not funding content, you are sowing light. Scripture says God gives seed to the sower and bread to the eater, and right now, you are being invited to place seed into ground that reaches wounded hearts across the world. This is not charity, this is obedience. I speak blessing over every hand that gives, that your generosity will return as clarity, protection, and unexpected joy. Do not delay if your spirit is stirring. Move now, because this is a prophetic moment of alignment. Sow, and watch heaven respond. Beloved one, now that your heart has been opened, Archangel Michael wants to guide you into understanding the unseen mechanics of what is happening around you today. This is the part most people never hear, yet it determines whether the moment bears fruit or fades quietly into memory. What is unfolding is not only external, it is internal alignment meeting divine timing. Michael says that heaven does not move randomly, it responds to readiness. And readiness is not perfection, it is honesty. You have reached a point where you no longer pretend to be strong when you are tired, or confident when you are uncertain. That vulnerability has become your qualification. This is why something beautiful can approach you safely now. In the spiritual realm, shifts happen before results appear. Decisions are influenced. Resistance weakens. Paths soften. Today, those invisible adjustments are already taking place on your behalf. That is why you may feel a strange mix of calm and anticipation, as if something is about to happen but you cannot explain how you know. This is not imagination. This is perception. Archangel Michael is emphasizing discernment again, but from a deeper angle. Discernment today is not about avoiding danger. It is about recognizing value. The enemy of this moment is familiarity. If something looks too normal, too simple, too easy, you may overlook it. But heaven often answers big prayers with gentle beginnings. You must understand this. Miracles do not always announce themselves as miracles. Sometimes they come as conversations that shift perspective. Sometimes as realizations that free you from a pattern. Sometimes as opportunities that feel small but open large doors later. Michael says what is coming carries potential that will only be revealed after you say yes. This is why patience is required, not passive waiting, but active awareness. Stay present with each interaction today. Notice what lingers in your thoughts. Pay attention to what feels unusually timely. These are not distractions. They are indicators. Archangel Michael also speaks about courage. Not loud courage and not dramatic action, but quiet courage. The courage to respond differently than you have before. The courage to trust a gentle nudge instead of waiting for pressure. The courage to believe that this time could be different. Some of you have been conditioned by disappointment to expect less than you deserve. Michael says this moment challenges that belief. Heaven does not tease. When it prepares beauty, it intends completion. But completion requires cooperation. You are not being asked to leap blindly. You are being asked to step attentively. One step, one response, one choice to remain open rather than guarded. There may be a temptation today to delay, to say, "I'll think about it later," or "I'll deal with this tomorrow." Archangel Michael says later is not dangerous because of punishment. It is dangerous because momentum fades. Divine timing is precise. When the window is open, movement is easier. When it closes, effort increases. That does not mean you will lose everything if you hesitate. It means the ease attached to this moment is specific, and ease is a gift. Michael also wants you to release comparison. Do not measure what is coming by someone else's story. Your path required different lessons. Yours required different preparation. What fits you will not always impress others, and that is perfectly fine. As this unfolds, remain grounded. Drink water. Breathe slowly. Stay connected to your body as well as your spirit. Alignment happens when you are fully present, not when you are lost in anxiety or expectation. There is also healing embedded in this moment. Not dramatic healing, but quiet reassurance. A sense of being guided rather than abandoned. That alone is beautiful. Archangel Michael assures you that you are protected today. Protected from confusion. Protected from manipulation. Protected from fear-based decisions. His presence around you is steady, not forceful, allowing you to choose freely while still being supported. If at any point today you feel overwhelmed, pause and return to stillness. Ask internally for clarity, not signs. Clarity comes first. Signs follow. Remember, this message did not come to create pressure. It came to create awareness. Awareness is empowering. It gives you the ability to participate consciously in what is unfolding. You are not chasing a blessing. The blessing is approaching you. And as this sacred timing continues to unfold, allow yourself to stay here, listening, because the next revelation will help you recognize the exact moment when the shift completes itself. My precious one, Archangel Michael now draws your attention to something subtle yet powerful, the moment of recognition. Many blessings arrive, but only those who recognize them are able to keep them. What is happening today is not only about what appears in front of you, but about what awakens within you when it does. Michael says there is a specific feeling you must not ignore. It is not excitement alone, and it is not fear alone. It is a deep inner resonance, a quiet knowing that settles in your chest and says, "This matters." That feeling is your confirmation. Heaven speaks through peace more often than through noise. You have been trained by life to question good news. When something feels hopeful, your mind immediately searches for what could go wrong. Archangel Michael understands this instinct. It was built as a defense. But today, that instinct must take a step back. Not disappear, but soften. Because discernment is not suspicion. Discernment is clarity. What is approaching you carries alignment. It means it will not require you to betray yourself. It will not ask you to shrink, to rush, or to compromise your values. It will feel supportive, even if it stretches you. Michael says if something demands panic or pressure, it is not from heaven. Divine movement brings calm confidence, even when the outcome is unknown. Some of you may notice that your reactions today are slower than usual. You are pausing before responding. You are thinking before speaking. This is not hesitation. This is wisdom activating. Archangel Michael says your spirit is leading more than your habits right now. Pay attention to what feels lighter. Sometimes the sign is not what excites you, but what relieves you. A burden lifting, a decision becoming simpler, a sense of relief you didn't know you needed. These are indicators that you are moving in the right direction. There is also a release happening today. Quietly, without ceremony, you are letting go of an old version of yourself, the one who expected disappointment, who prepared for loss before joy arrived. Michael says that version of you kept you safe for a season, but it is not meant to walk with you into what comes next. You may feel moments of nostalgia, even grief, for what never happened in the past. Let those feelings pass through without judgment. They are not signs of doubt. They are signs of closure. Healing often feels like sadness leaving the body. Archangel Michael is guiding you to stay honest with yourself today. If something feels right, acknowledge it. If something feels wrong, honor that too. This is not about forcing positivity. It is about respecting truth. There may be a moment when you are tempted to seek reassurance from others. Michael gently advises restraint. Not everyone needs to know what you are sensing. Some things grow best in silence. Protect the seed until it takes root. You are also being reminded that worthiness is not earned in moments like this. You do not qualify for blessings by being perfect. You qualify by being present, by being willing, by being open. This is why ignoring this message would matter. Not because of punishment, but because awareness is what allows alignment to complete. When you are aware, you can respond. When you respond, the door opens wider. Archangel Michael assures you that no trick is involved here. Heaven is not trying to test you harshly or catch you off guard. This is an invitation, not a trap. The urgency exists because timing is precise, not because love is conditional. If you feel drawn to slow down today, honor that. If you feel drawn to act, honor that too. Trust that you are being guided step by step, not thrown into chaos. There is a dignity to this moment, a sense of being trusted. Michael says heaven would not place opportunity near you if you were not capable of handling it. As the hours move forward, keep returning to your breath. Keep returning to presence. Let each choice be made from clarity, not fear. Something beautiful is not only about to happen. It is already unfolding in layers. And you are exactly where you need to be to receive it. Stay here. Stay aware. What comes next will help you move with confidence when the final confirmation appears. Beloved child, Archangel Michael now speaks about movement. Gentle movement. Intentional movement, the kind that does not rush ahead of grace but also does not freeze in fear. There is a rhythm to divine timing, and today you are being invited to move in sync with it. Not yesterday's pace, not tomorrow's pace, today's. Michael says many people lose alignment not because they choose wrongly, but because they hesitate when clarity has already arrived. Hesitation feels safe, but it can quietly turn into resistance. This is why awareness must now be followed by action, even if that action feels small. You may notice that something today requires you to respond differently than you normally would. Where you usually stay silent, you may feel urged to speak. Where you usually over-explain, you may feel guided to keep it simple. Where you usually write, you may feel called to pause. These are not contradictions. They are corrections. Archangel Michael is helping you recalibrate. This is not about doing more. It is about doing what is aligned. Alignment reduces effort. When you move in the right direction, even small steps carry power. When you move out of alignment, even great effort feels heavy. Pay attention to your energy today. Notice what drains you quickly and what sustains you naturally. The blessing approaching you will not require you to abandon yourself. It will meet you where your strength already is. Some of you are realizing that the thing you have been chasing is not what you actually want, and that realization itself is a miracle. Michael says clarity is as valuable as provision. Knowing what no longer fits frees space for what does. Do not be afraid to change your mind today if new understanding arrives. Flexibility is not weakness. It is wisdom responding to truth. There may also be a test of patience. Something may take a little longer than you expect. Do not interpret that as delay or denial. Sometimes timing stretches just enough to confirm your readiness. Stay calm. Stay open. Archangel Michael is also reminding you that this message is not meant to stay private. When truth resonates, it seeks to move. If this message has been guiding you, take a moment now to like this video, share it with someone who may be standing at the edge of doubt, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Leave a comment as well. Your interaction is not random. It helps this message reach those who need it most, and it strengthens the collective alignment of everyone listening. You are not alone in this moment. Many are being awakened at the same time, each in their own way, each at their own pace. There is also protection around you today regarding decisions. Archangel Michael stands as guardian, ensuring that confusion does not override clarity. If something is not meant for you, you will feel a lack of peace. If something is aligned, peace will remain even if questions still exist. Do not confuse peace with certainty. Peace means you are safe to proceed, not that you know every outcome. Some of you are being asked to trust the next step without demanding the full map. This is difficult, especially if you have been hurt before. But Michael says trust is rebuilt not through guarantees but through experience. And today offers a new experience. If fear tries to rise, acknowledge it without obeying it. Fear is a signal, not a commander. Let clarity lead. There is also a reminder here about gratitude. Not forced gratitude, but quiet recognition. When you notice what is already shifting, even subtly, acknowledge it. Gratitude anchors blessings in reality. As the day continues, you may feel moments of anticipation. Do not let anticipation turn into anxiety. Stay grounded. Breathe. Return to presence. Archangel Michael emphasizes this. You are not running out of time, but you are in a window of opportunity. Windows are meant to be looked through, opened, and stepped through, not stared at endlessly. And before you move on, let me say this gently. Hold on, because what is about to be revealed next will help you recognize the exact moment when action becomes necessary, so you don't second-guess yourself when it matters most. Beloved one, Archangel Michael now draws your attention to the quiet threshold you are standing on. A threshold is not dramatic. It does not shake the ground or announce itself with noise. It is simply the line between what was and what can be. Today, you are standing on such a line, and how you cross it matters. Michael says many people think transformation feels like excitement. In truth, it often feels like stillness. A deep breath before a new chapter. That is why some mistake it for nothing happening. But stillness is not absence. It is preparation. You may notice moments today where everything feels calm, almost suspended. Do not rush to fill that space. Silence is where clarity settles. The answers you seek are not hiding in complexity. They are emerging in simplicity. As part of the journey is about trust, not blind trust but informed trust. Trust built on everything you have already survived. You are not naive. You are experienced. And that experience now serves you. Archangel Michael reminds you that fear often disguises itself as logic. It presents reasons, probabilities, and past examples. But fear always points backward. Faith points forward. When you feel torn between the two, notice the direction each voice is pulling you. There is a quiet confidence being offered to you today. Not the kind that boasts, but the kind that rests. You may feel less need to explain yourself, less need to prove your worth. That is alignment settling in. Some of you are being guided to release urgency, not because the moment is unimportant, but because panic clouds perception. When you are calm, you see clearly. When you see clearly, you choose well. Michael also speaks about boundaries. Something beautiful approaching you will respect your boundaries. If something pressures you to abandon them, it is not aligned. This is how you discern without fear. There may be an old pattern trying to reassert itself today, a habit of self-doubt, people-pleasing, or overthinking. Recognize it without shame. Patterns lose power when they are seen. Archangel Michael assures you that you are allowed to choose differently now. Growth gives you new options. As you move through this threshold, be mindful of your words. Speak gently to yourself. Avoid harsh inner dialogue. You would not speak to someone you love with criticism. Do not do it to yourself. You are not being rushed by heaven. You are being invited. There is also joy attached to this moment, though it may not feel explosive. It may feel like relief, like a weight lifting, like exhaling after holding your breath for too long. That is joy in its truest form. Michael wants you to know that you are not alone on this threshold. Guidance surrounds you. Protection covers you. Wisdom is available to you. If you feel uncertain, return to the present moment. The present holds everything you need. As this message continues to unfold, stay with it, because the next revelation will show you how to anchor this shift so it becomes lasting, not temporary. My beloved one, Archangel Michael now speaks about anchoring, because what is happening in your life right now is not meant to be a passing moment of hope. It is meant to become a turning point. Many people experience divine touch, but only a few know how to hold it long enough for it to transform their reality. Today, you are being taught how to anchor what heaven is releasing. Michael says anchoring happens through agreement. Not loud declarations, not forced confidence, but inner consent. A quiet decision that says, I accept what is unfolding, even if I don't fully understand it yet. That inner yes is powerful. It tells the spiritual realm that you are ready to cooperate rather than resist. You may notice that after moments of clarity, the mind tries to revisit old fears. That does not mean clarity has left. It means the old patterns are realizing they are losing control. Do not fight them aggressively. Simply do not feed them. Attention is fuel. Peace is protection. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that this moment is stabilizing your future choices. What you allow yourself to receive now will influence what you no longer tolerate later. Standards are shifting. Boundaries are strengthening. Discernment is maturing. Some of you will notice that your reactions to familiar situations are changing. Things that once triggered you no longer have the same grip. This is evidence of inner movement. Do not rush past it. Under it. There is also a release of shame happening now. Shame over past mistakes. Shame over missed opportunities. Shame over times you ignored your intuition. Michael says that shame has no place in the next chapter. It serves only to keep you small. Today, it is being gently removed. This is why this moment feels tender. Healing often feels like vulnerability before it feels like strength. You are also being reminded that beauty does not always arrive as reward. Sometimes it arrives as correction. a redirection that saves you from future pain. If something today closes instead of opens, trust that protection can look like disappointment before it looks like relief. Archangel Michael assures you that nothing aligned with your highest good will pass you by today. What is meant to reach you will find you attentive, not anxious. There is power in staying grounded right now. Rest. Breathe. Stay connected to the present world while remaining open to spiritual guidance. Balance keeps blessings sustainable. And now, this anchoring requires a conscious acknowledgement. Type "I anchor this blessing" in the comments if your spirit is receiving this message. Blessing code 1441 is now activated. As this sacred moment settles, there is something important that flows naturally from it. This message, this timing, and this divine awareness are not meant to stop with you. There are countless hearts searching for reassurance, standing at crossroads similar to yours, needing confirmation that God still speaks and still guides. I am speaking to you directly now. Your obedience in supporting this work becomes a river of light for them. When you release super thanks, join the channel membership, or sow through the PayPal link in the video description. You are placing oil in the lamp that keeps this message burning. God says He multiplies the seed placed in willing hands, and I declare that every gift given in this moment will return as clarity, peace, and divine protection over your life. Do not delay if you feel the nudge. This is a prophetic response, not a transaction. Move now and watch how heaven honors your obedience. Stay with me, because what comes next will bring final confirmation and prepare you for the moment when everything quietly clicks into place. Beloved soul, Archangel Michael now invites you into the moment of integration, because what has been revealed to you is not meant to remain only as insight. Insight becomes transformation when it is lived. Today, the beauty preparing to manifest is settling into your reality, not as a sudden explosion, but as a steady shift you can walk with. Michael says this is where many people relax too soon. They feel the peace, sense the clarity, and assume the work is finished. But this stage is not about effort. It is about consistency. Holding alignment gently, day by day, choice by choice. This is how temporary moments become permanent change. You may notice that your thoughts today are more deliberate. You are less reactive, more observant. This is not emotional distance. This is emotional maturity activating. You are no longer pulled by every impulse. You are choosing responses instead of default reactions. Archangel Michael wants you to know that this is a sign of growth. You are integrating wisdom you once only understood intellectually. Now it is becoming instinct. As this happens, there may be subtle resistance from your past. Old memories, old habits, old narratives that whisper, "This won't last." Do not argue with those voices. Simply continue forward. Resistance fades when it is not given authority. You are learning to trust stability. For someone who has lived through unpredictability, stability can feel unfamiliar, even uncomfortable. But Michael says stability is not stagnation. It is safety. It is the foundation that allows growth without fear. There is also an invitation here to simplify. Complexity drains energy. Simplicity preserves it. Look at where you can reduce mental clutter, emotional overcommitment, or unnecessary worry. What is meant for you will not require constant defense. Archangel Michael is guiding you to protect your peace without guilt. Peace is not laziness. It is alignment maintained. You may also sense a change in how you view time. Less urgency, less pressure, more trust that things will unfold as they should. This is evidence that anxiety is losing its grip. The beauty arriving in your life now is not fragile. It does not need constant monitoring. It will not disappear if you relax. In fact, it grows stronger when you allow yourself to enjoy it without fear of loss. Michael says joy is a form of faith. When you allow yourself to experience joy, you declare that you trust goodness to remain. There may be moments today when you reflect on how far you've come. Do not minimize that journey. You survived things that once felt unbearable. Its strength now supports this new chapter. Archangel Michael reminds you that discernment remains important. Not every open door is yours to walk through. But now, discernment feels clearer, quieter, more confident. You are no longer guessing. You are sensing. If confusion arises, return to what feels grounded and peaceful. Truth stabilizes. Fear destabilizes. Let that be your guide. You are also being prepared for increased responsibility, not burden, but stewardship. When blessings arrive, they often bring opportunities to grow, to lead, to contribute. Do not shrink from that. You are capable. This does not mean you must have everything figured out. It means you are willing to learn as you go. Archangel Michael emphasizes patience again, but from a new angle. Patience is no longer about waiting for something to happen. It is about allowing what is happening to mature. As the day continues, trust that what has been set in motion will continue to unfold naturally. You do not need to force outcomes. Alignment does the work. There is also a sense of quiet celebration in the spiritual realm right now. Not loud, not dramatic, but sincere. You said yes internally. You stayed present. You did not ignore the nudge. That matters. Michael assures you that you are now walking with greater clarity than before. Even challenges will be navigated differently, with less panic, with more wisdom. And as you remain here, aware and open, keep listening, because the next message will prepare you for how to carry this blessing forward without losing balance, ensuring it strengthens your life rather than overwhelms it. Beloved child, Archangel Michael now turns your attention to stewardship, because what has entered your life is not meant to confuse you or overwhelm you. It is meant to be carried with wisdom. Blessings that are not stewarded can feel heavy, but blessings that are understood become strength. Today, you are learning how to walk with what heaven has released without losing your balance. Michael says one of the greatest misunderstandings is believing that when something beautiful arrives, life suddenly becomes effortless. In truth, alignment does not remove responsibility. It redefines it. You are not being asked to strive harder. You are being asked to move more intentionally. You may notice that certain habits no longer feel comfortable. Ways of thinking that once felt normal now feel draining. This is not loss. This is growth. When your inner world changes, your outer patterns must adjust to match it. Archangel Michael is guiding you to simplify your focus. Do not scatter your energy trying to control outcomes. Control is rooted in fear. Stewardship is rooted in trust. Trust allows things to grow at their natural pace. There may be a temptation to overanalyze what has happened and what is coming next. Michael gently reminds you that not everything needs to be understood immediately. Some things are revealed through experience, not explanation. This part of the journey is about integration into daily life. How you speak, how you listen, how you rest, how you respond under pressure. These small moments are where alignment is proven. You are also being reminded that you do not need to announce everything that is shifting within you. Some changes speak for themselves. Let your peace be your testimony. Archangel Michael says discernment will now protect you from overcommitment. You are allowed to say no without guilt. You are allowed to choose rest without apology. Protecting your energy is not selfish, it is wise. There is also an invitation here to celebrate quietly. Gratitude does not always need to be loud. Sometimes it is a deep internal acknowledgement that says, "I see what you are doing." Alone strengthens trust. As this message continues to resonate with you, take a moment to support it in a practical way. Like this video so it reaches those who are still searching for reassurance. Share it with someone who needs guidance right now. Subscribe to this channel if you feel aligned with this message, and leave a comment. Your engagement helps anchor this word not only in your life, but in the lives of many others. This is how alignment multiplies. Archangel Michael also wants you to understand that balance is key in the days ahead. Do not swing between extremes of excitement and fear. Stay centered. Stay present. Stability allows blessings to mature fully. If something challenges you soon, do not interpret it as a sign that alignment has failed. Growth often brings mild resistance as old structures adjust. Stay calm. Respond, don't react. You are being trained to trust yourself again, to trust your judgment, to trust your intuition, to trust that you can navigate good things without losing yourself. Michael says this is especially important for those who have experienced instability in the past. You learned to survive chaos. Now you are learning to live in peace. The transition takes patience with yourself. You may also notice a shift in how you relate to time. Less urgency, more presence. This is a sign that anxiety is releasing its grip. Let it go fully. The beauty that has entered your life is not fragile. It does not need constant protection. It needs room to breathe. Give it that room by staying grounded. Archangel Michael assures you that you are being guided step by step. You are not expected to carry everything at once. Each day will bring what you need for the day. As you move forward, keep your heart open but your mind clear. Balance faith with wisdom, hope with discernment. And before you move on, stay with this message a little longer, because what is coming next will bring closure to lingering questions and prepare you for the final release that seals this entire journey. Beloved one, Archangel Michael now brings you into the space of sealing, because every divine movement reaches a moment where it must be secured within the heart. This is not about finality in the sense of endings, but about completion in the sense of wholeness. What began as awareness has become alignment, and now alignment must be sealed into identity. Michael says this is where many people misunderstand spiritual moments. They think something external must happen to prove it was real. But the truest confirmation is internal stability. When you no longer feel the need to chase signs, when peace remains even without constant reassurance, that is the seal. You may notice that today feels quieter than expected, less dramatic, less emotionally intense. This is not loss of momentum. This is grounding. After movement comes settling. After revelation comes rest. Heaven is not anxious. It allows space for truth to take root. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that the beauty that arrived was not meant to replace your life, but to integrate with it. You are not becoming someone else. You are becoming more fully yourself. The parts of you that were suppressed by fear are now re-emerging gently, without force. There is also a sense of self-trust being restored. You may catch yourself making decisions with less second-guessing, speaking with more clarity, pausing without guilt. These are signs that your inner authority is being reestablished. Michael says this matters deeply, because the next season of your life will require confidence without arrogance, humility without insecurity. That balance is being formed now. Some of you may feel a subtle grief today, not over loss, but over realization. realizing how long you lived without this peace, how much energy you spent surviving. Allow that grief to pass through. It is part of honoring your journey. You do not need to dwell there. Archangel Michael is also closing doors quietly, not with confrontation or conflict, but with clarity. Certain distractions will no longer hold appeal. Certain conversations will feel unnecessary. Certain habits will feel out of place. This is not isolation. This is refinement. You are being streamlined for what comes next. There is also forgiveness being completed here. Not forced forgiveness, but release. The kind where the memory no longer carries a charge. Where the past becomes information, not identity. Michael says this is one of the greatest gifts of this moment. Do not be surprised if your body responds with fatigue or deep rest. Integration often requires physical rest. Honor that need. Rest is not retreat. It is recovery. As this seal sets, you are being invited to simplify expectations. You do not need constant confirmation that you are on the right path. Peace is your confirmation. Consistency is your proof. Archangel Michael reminds you that faith matures when it becomes quiet. Loud faith is often young. Quiet faith is seasoned. You may also notice that your prayers are changing. Less asking, more listening. Less urgency, more trust. This is not complacency. This is confidence in divine partnership. There is a dignity to this stage, a sense of being entrusted rather than tested. Michael says heaven does not rush those it trusts. It allows them to move with intention. If doubts arise, do not panic. Doubt does not undo alignment. It simply asks for reassurance. Answer it with truth, not fear. You have evidence now, not dramatic evidence, but lived experience. You are also being prepared to recognize when a chapter has truly closed. Closure does not always come with answers. Sometimes it comes with peace. That peace is now available to you. Archangel Michael assures you that what has been sealed will not easily be shaken. You may still face challenges, but you will face them differently. With less fear, with more clarity, with greater self-respect. This is not the end of your journey. It is the end of a certain kind of struggle. As you remain present with this sealing, stay open just a little longer, because the final message will bring blessing, authority, and release, confirming that what began today is now complete and ready to move forward with you. My beloved child, Archangel Michael now speaks with finality and peace, because what began as a warning has become a completion. This is the moment where heaven releases authority back into your hands. Not control, not pressure, but confidence rooted in trust. What was unfolding around you has now settled within you, and that is how divine timing confirms itself. Michael says this is the hour when you stop waiting for permission. Not from people, not from circumstances, not even from signs. You have been prepared, guided, corrected, and steadied. The beauty that was promised did not come to tease you. It came to transform the way you walk forward. You may notice that your thoughts feel clearer now, less scattered, less heavy. That is because alignment brings simplicity. When things are right, they no longer argue inside you. Peace becomes the loudest voice. Archangel Michael wants you to understand something important. Missing this message would have meant missing awareness, not destiny. Destiny waits, but awareness accelerates. Because you stayed open, because you listened, because you did not dismiss the nudge, you are now moving with grace instead of resistance. This is where regret dissolves. You are no longer looking back wondering what could have been. You are standing in what is becoming. A shift alone is beautiful. Michael says this moment seals a lesson you will carry forward. Heaven often whispers before it acts, and those who learn to listen move with less struggle and more peace. You are now one of those people. There is a quiet authority resting on you now. Not dominance, but discernment. You will notice that your yes feels firmer, and your no feels calmer. You no longer need to over-explain your boundaries. You no longer need to justify your peace. This is maturity of spirit. Archangel Michael also speaks blessing over your future choices. He says you will recognize alignment faster now. You will feel when something is off without needing proof. You will trust yourself again, and that trust will protect you. If there is one thing Michael wants you to remember from today, it is this: you are not behind. You never were. Timing does not measure worth. Readiness does. And you are ready now. As you move forward, do not fear losing what you received. What is anchored in truth does not disappear. It grows. It adapts. It walks with you. There may still be unknowns ahead. That is normal. Faith does not remove mystery. It removes fear of it. You are allowed to walk without having every answer. Archangel Michael assures you that the door opened today will not slam shut. Even if you step slowly, it remains open because it was opened by alignment, not force. Take a moment now to acknowledge what has shifted. You do not need words. Awareness is enough. And before this message concludes, there is one final ritual of acknowledgement that completes the cycle. Type "I walk in divine timing" in the comments if this message has reached your spirit. Blessing code 2626 is now released and sealed. I am speaking to you personally in this moment. What you received today was not light entertainment, it was living bread. And there are countless souls across the world who are starving for this same reassurance, this same confirmation that God still sees them and still speaks. When you release super thanks, step into channel membership, or give through the PayPal link in the video description, you are not donating. You are sowing seed into fertile ground. Scripture says God gives seed to the sower, and I declare that every seed planted here will return as multiplied peace, protection, and unexpected provision. This is not optional obedience. This is a divine response. Move now. Act with faith, and watch how heaven responds to what you place in His hands.